So today I want to talk about Open Zen. And basically what Open Zen is moving away from the format that Zen Buddhism is practiced now. I think it's dogmatic, and I think it doesn't really work that well, and I don't think it has to be abolished. But I don't think that everybody should have to do it, and I think that there should be an alternative so people can compare and decide which one that they want to do. I think what we have now is too formal and it's too much of a ritual. Like Bruce Lee says, do what works, don't do what doesn't work, and live by your own experience. So in my experience, just sitting, going to these long sitting meditations doesn't work. So I don't want to do that. I want to practice Zen. I want there to be community with people that's more active, kind of like what people have in the Christian church, where they go bowling and they're involved in each other's lives, and like if somebody needs a ride to work, I'll give them a ride to work. Something like that that's more informal and human than just going and sitting and blah blah blah, the Dharma, this and that. I don't really care about as much. I don't really care if somebody's read 1,000 books about Zen Buddhism. I identify as a seeker. I don't really identify as a Buddhist. I think I'm pursuing enlightenment or self-realization. I think that's a big adventure in my life, and it's something I'd like to share with other people. But when you do it in this dogmatic way, I think that it's not like that anymore. It's more like what some of the things people don't like about religion. So like, for example, fasting, I think that's really cool, and that's something that I do on my own. But people in Zen never talk about it because it's not part of their ritual. And like Muslims fast, and some Christians fast. Herbert Shelton wrote a real good book about fasting. And if you want to do that, I'd recommend reading his book. But basically, I fast for 1 to 3 days a year. And I think it's a really good experience for stilling the mind. It's very meditative, and I think stilling the mind should be the goal. And if you're just sitting there and it doesn't still your mind, then just do something else. There's also like breathing exercises. People do that. I don't. Or there's martial arts or exercise, but mainly meditation and fasting is what I do these days. So yeah, that's about all I've got to say for now. But basically, I'd like to see other people make videos like this and see where they'd like to go with Open Zen, and kind of what ideas they have or what their experience is. But I don't like these, this thing that's like centered around somebody getting a Dharma transmission from somebody else. I don't really think that really matters that much, or wearing robes and kind of all these rituals. I'd like to get away from that and get to something more authentic and kind of down to earth.